live. Woo! Thursday night knit night.
Right, I shall turn my telly off.
Oh no, what have you been watching?
I had the old guard on in the background because I'm quite
Have you
enjoying the
got
music.
ice cream?
Hmm?
Have you got ice cream?
No,
Oh. What have you got?
I've got sugar-free jelly, some
Yeah.
quark or quark, however you pronounce it, and
Oh
some
yeah.
raspberries mixed in.
It looks like you've got strawberry ice cream.
It's really nice.
Oh darn, it's not there. Oh, hang on. I'm trying to turn my sound down. I turned it up. Oh, I'm having a mare today. I need to take my head off and put a different head on tonight. What Wurzel Gummidge head do I need?
Oh, somebody's just asked to join the group. If you
Yeah, I just
let them in.
That's Tracy, my new tester.
All right, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh well, hopefully she'll come on and watch us live. That'd be really nice.
Eating
Welcome.
what looks like ice cream but isn't ice cream.
Yeah, it's not ice cream. It's quark, sugar-free jelly, and raspberries.
It's a bit disappointing.
Mm.
I've been craving crumble all day. I blame MasterChef. Why do I watch MasterChef? I want bread and butter pudding, I want custard, and I want fruit crumble. I want all the things.
Mm. That's the problem, isn't it? Every now and then you.
So can I spy a new addition to the stash sitting next to you in pride of place?
Might be. I'll just put my dish down.
Have you had like a squidgy stowaway today? Oh, that's a lovely pair.
Do you like them?
I love those beautiful
Pair of
pairs.
whoppers. It's Starcraft Highland Heathers or Heeland Heathers for the Scots among us.
Aye.
And the colourway is called Gorse.
Oh,
I just picked up two for swatching purposes.
I got mine.
And because my hairdresser is in the market hall where the wool shop is. So
Two birds, one stone, because you're looking gorgeous with that hairdo.
I've had my hair cut today and it's feeling much better. It's really, really short and neat at the back, which just, it was about 5, maybe 6 inches long at the back. It was driving me bananas, and it was at the point where I could almost put it in a ponytail.
Well, it's helpful if you're going for a run. Shall I get mine out then? Shall I get my pair out?
I'll whip them out.
Got.
Let's have a look here what you've got.
Didn't I? We got 5 of each. So I have this one, which is moss. It looks very much like lichen. How gorgeous is that? I think that'll suit me. What do you think?
I think it's lovely.
And granite.
You didn't go with grist then? I think the name you said sounded a bit too much like gristle.
It was slightly lighter grey, and I thought this one would look nice for the winter. So I have to decide which one of these is going to be my campside pullover. And the other one will be a jumper of my own design. Something just very simple.
Oh.
So I'm not sure which one to go for which. I'm thinking this one for campside.
Oh, it's a good neutral.
Yeah, and also it'll be like the campfire embers afterwards.
Oh.
The ashes. We could call it campfire ashes. Oh, that's.
I could call it that. That sounds like a really good project name. I made was it a Kim Hargreaves design years ago? A little shrug.
Oh yeah.
Using some Rowan summer tweed, and it was called Glint. So I called it Glint in the Milkman's Eye.
Oh. You are a very clever lady.
And there's a number of people who didn't get it.
Oh. Well, my dad was the postman.
Have you got a beverage?
I have 2 beverages today. I have my black tea in my mug, and that should be my motto for my life now. That's all I'm going to say. And I have a
Is Michelle in the house? Is Michelle in the house?
Michelle's usually in the house. I have a squash in a lemon bottle. It's not really lemon, it's just a leftover lemon bottle, but it is orange and pineapple, because you know I like to have a backup drink.
Yeah. I've got a big mug of tea, which I've just warmed up.
Oh, excellent. As long as it's not freezing cold. Yeah, I don't know if Michelle's with us.
No, it's one of those where I made it earlier and then sort of forgot it was there.
Don't tell the Americans we put our tea in the microwave sometimes.
Oh no, but not with my baked beans.
Oh no, definitely not with your baked beans. I finished trolleys. Do you want to see trolleys?
Oh, show us your trolleys.
Okay. Oh, look.
Getting our trolleys out, Jake.
I got my trolleys out.
What a lovely ribbon.
How cute is that?
That's
I just sewed it on. It is literally like a decoration. And then so I put the elastic in. I got my elastic. But what I did was I left the stitches on the band because I did it double thickness. So I did my stocking stitch, then I did a garter ridge, and then I carried on the same amount. And then I didn't cast off my stitches. I left them live. And then I threaded, I don't know if you can see that, I threaded my elastic through the live stitches and then stitched them to the trolleys.
Very nice.
Yay.
So how much yarn did that take and what size is it?
These are the little 0 to 3 month ones, and I haven't weighed my leftover yarn, so I can't answer that yet, but it was less than a 50-gram ball.
All right.
So I'm gonna write the pattern up, and these will go out for testing, but I'm gonna do the pattern so that you can do the lace if you want, or you can just do like an extra bit of garter, have it plain.
Yeah, for a little boy.
Yeah, or you know, because it's in the preemie size, and I remember you said the preemie stuff needs to be
no lace for preemie.
Yeah, quite plain. So
they don't want any holes. They don't mind texture. They like cables. They like pattern, but they don't want holes other than buttonholes.
Yeah. So I thought if I mean, that's not going to take much extra effort in the pattern just to write. If you don't want lace, do this instead. I mean, the lace was worked that way, and then picked up and knitted. So, Michelle's there. Oh, she's having a lager shandy.
Oh,
anyone would think it's the summer. I love a lager shandy in the summer.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah. And Rita says, what was that about tea in the microwave? Don't let the side down, Lorraine. I mean, come on.
I did. I warmed my tea in the microwave. I wouldn't make it in the microwave. And I don't make it in the teapot either. I stick a tea bag in the mug, add hot water, go away and do something, come back, fish out the tea bag, and then add my milk. And occasionally, depending on what else I'm doing, if I've got the milk out for Jake's cereal or whatever, then I'll put the milk in and the tea bag in the cup and then add the water later, and I don't care.
You clogged the tea with the whole clogged up with the milk.
Yeah.
And then it's not as strong, but then I don't like strong tea. Do you know the heresy of how I make a cup of tea? Put the tea bag in, pour the boiling water on top of the tea bag, and immediately fish the tea bag out, and I save it for later.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Because I have it so weak, it would be a bit of a waste to throw it away.
Well, you're just being environmentally friendly.
That's what it is.
Although where the world is at the moment, somebody will find fault with it.
Well, I think we need a safe word. If I start ranting like I did last week and being a general pain in the bum.
Well, you haven't got a bottle of gin or anything like that.
I haven't. But somebody needs to shout armadillo at me. That's our safe word.
Armadillo, okay.
Yeah. So either you, Lorraine, or Michelle, or anyone watching us, if they think I'm getting on my soapbox, just shout armadillo and it will shut me up. Because they're crunchy on the outside and smooth on the inside.
Okay, well, I'll take your word for it. They're probably like an endangered species or something, so we'll
Did
probably
you
get
never see the
someone
advert?
will report us to the RSPCA.
Did you never see the advert?
No.
I think it was Harry Enfield dressed up as a farmer, and it was a dime bar advert. And the guy was advertising the dime bars, and he was saying they're smooth on the outside and crunchy on the inside. And then he was like, the farmer goes, armadillo, crunchy on the outside, smooth on the inside.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that. I did watch on Netflix the other day a few episodes of the first series of Men Behaving Badly.
Oh, I bet that looks dated now, doesn't it?
Unbelievably so, yeah. And I didn't really like it with Harry Enfield in it. I liked it much more when Tony, what's his name, joined the other fella, the dark-haired lad.
Oh, I don't know. I only remember Martin Clunes and Caroline Quentin in it. And wasn't there a blonde lady?
Yes, famous for her trout pouch, Leslie something.
Yes, she had the bad lip job done, didn't she?
Yeah,
Oh, what was her
she was a
name?
beautiful girl.
She was stunning, and then that just went horribly wrong.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. Someone will remember.
Maybe your dad knows.
Yeah, maybe.
He's there. Say hello to Daddy.
Yeah, I was telling him how you'd done your elimination diet because the nutritionist we were talking to the other day was talking about eliminating dairy and getting rid of potential trigger foods to find out what your sensitivities are and all of that good stuff. And I
Yeah.
said, oh, Emma's been doing that and she's lost quite a bit of weight. And Dad said, well, if she wants a hand finding it, I'm sure we could nip over. So I said I would make the offer, but I thought that you might tell him to go get stuffed because it's not one of those things you want to find, is it? It's not like a lost sock.
Do you know what? I've had this conversation with Anne today. My stomach's been really, really bad recently, and I've been exhausted. I haven't ran. I don't know. Did I tell you I had to abort my run on Sunday morning? And it's the first time, and I don't know how long I've had to say I just can't. I can't. And so I've had the full week off. I'm going to try a 5K on Sunday. But I'm not, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. And I think it's all down to my food again. I'm worried that I'm developing issues with other foods as well now. Like it's getting worse, and I can't be doing with that. So I've ordered some enzymes off Holland and Barrett, and let's see if they work.
Yeah, I think that's a good approach.
Keep your fingers crossed for me. I can't cut anything else out. Michelle says Neil Morrissey and Leslie
Neil Morrissey, that's it. See, I knew somebody here would know.
And Leslie Ash.
Much cleverer people than we are. I knew it was Leslie something.
Yeah, you got Leslie. Michelle, I don't know, did you know Michelle or did you just use a Google foo? So what are you making?
You know what I'm making.
She's
such a cheeky harlot, isn't she? This will be Vera. This is my Vera sweater. Look at the lovely raglans.
You're getting on so far with that already.
Yeah. So this is what I've done over it. Is it a couple of evenings since she sent the pattern out?
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't yesterday, was it?
No.
It must have been the day before.
No.
Oh, I'm loving it. I do like that colour. That's a U colour.
It is very pretty. I mean, it's hard to photograph. It's actually a lot warmer than it looks.
Oh, lovely.
It looks quite ashy and cool, but it's not.
Yeah.
But it is very soft and subtle, and the yarn is really nice to work with. It gives quite a nice gauge on the 3.75mm needles. Although on the ball band it says you should use 3mm needles, and I kind of looked at that and thought, it's not happening, is it? 3.5 might be as low as I go.
3mm on a jumper, you'd be there for weeks.
Years I'd be there. I've got more knitting to do than you have.
And you want it to be nice, lightweight anyway, don't you?
Yeah, and I've been as good as gold on my diet during the week this week. quite careful about. I did go over my sins at the weekend, but I was quite selective about what I did, and I counted every morsel that went into my mouth.
Well done.
So no cheating. And I stepped on the scales this morning, just in my knickers as you do, and it was showing a loss. However, I got to weigh in on Friday morning, and because we're going back to group the week commencing 11th of August, so my first in-person meeting will be the 15th, which is the Saturday. We have now, from this week, got to wear with our shoes on. So I did message her and say, if I get a gain this week, I'm blaming it on the shoes. Just saying.
Can't you get some flip-flops?
Well, I've got some Crocs and they're pretty light.
Yeah.
So I'll try with my Crocs, and if necessary, I'll have to carry those to group with me.
I'm pretty sure I used to get weighed with no shoes on.
Well, yeah, but you're not allowed now because of COVID, because they'd have to clean the scales after every person, and then they wouldn't be allowed on it for 20 minutes. Well, you're allowed 30 people at a group, but they've all got to be out the door in 30 minutes.
I remember going to group and queuing up to get weighed, and it doesn't take 30 minutes. No,
it doesn't. I mean, they are doing a very brief image therapy, the sort of chat and stuff, and I think she's planning to do the new member talk just to remind us all what we should be doing, which, I mean, is never a bad thing, is it? Just to get someone to talk you through it, because you get a bit blasé about weighing and measuring. And one of the things I learned early on is that with lactose-free milk, you can have 2 healthy A's, so it's 500 ml a day. So I buy it in litre cartons, and I put the day and time that I opened it on the carton, and I know it's got to last me 2 days.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then I've got to sin all the rest of the milk that I have. And that works for me, but other people do weigh it out weigh and measure every single day. But for me, if I get it right over 2 days, then it's close enough for me.
Yeah, I would say even yourself out. You add less the day before, you have a little bit more the next day. It's even. It's not like you're going over, is it?
No, it isn't. No, not at all.
So talking of Vera, I was going to wear mine, but it's just too warm. So I have her here.
Right, so let's have a looky then.
Oh, look, I've seen a few.
So this is looking more and more like one of my projects.
Shh, don't tell anyone. There she is.
Oh, she's cute.
She's cute, and I did the arms. So what scraps I had, I actually weighed them, and then I stripped them in 2 and put half of the scraps on each sleeve so they match.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I quite like the sleeves actually. I feel a bit zebra.
West Yorkshire Spinners, isn't it?
It is West Yorkshire Spinners, although that top bit I think actually was a leftover of paint box yarns, sock yarn.
Right.
Don't think that was a West Yorkshire Spinners. The main colour is West Yorkshire Spinners, and the rest of the sleeve, they're all West Yorkshire Spinners. But I think that one little bit.
And that's just different leftovers.
Yeah, it's still like sock yarn. Yeah. I made some socks for Sock Madness in those a couple of years back.
Ah, right.
It would have been last year because I didn't take part this year. Right. I couldn't handle the pressure. Those people do not stop for anything. They don't sleep. They don't eat. I don't think they go to the toilet.
I think that's the reason they call it Sock Madness, isn't it?
Well, yeah, there was one lady in my team, and obviously you're competing against the people in your team as well. She took a photo of her area, and she had like a chair that she sits in. She had everything that she needed around her. She's retired. Her husband's retired, and he literally came and fed her food and drink while she's sock knitting. It's like, how's anyone supposed to beat that?
I don't know.
Especially when you've got kids moaning at you. What's for tea?
Well, yeah.
Now I just tell them to do their own, and I'm not even doing Sock Madness.
Oh, I did get a message off Jake earlier saying I'm alive, and then one half an hour after that going, can you pick me up from Rosie's in Ulverston? Which is great, but I hadn't actually long got home from Ulverston, and he knew I was going for my haircut, so I may have growled quite a bit in the car.
He could have texted you earlier, couldn't he?
Well, he could have done if he'd actually been up, but you know.
Kids. And
I didn't know you were getting your haircut. I said, yes, you did. I messaged you yesterday to tell you I'd be in town if you needed a lift at this time. Good day.
Don't listen, do they?
No.
They don't listen. Yeah, Anne Hall's coming across to visit you. She's going to be in the lakes from Saturday.
Oh, is she? What's she doing? Just a quick holly bobs?
Yeah, in a motorhome with her husband.
Yeah, I feel I've gone down in your estimation now, Rita. Are you going to lose all respect for me now that you know that I've microwaved my tea?
She's not only that, she's going to tell everyone. It's going to be all over social media now.
Oh, my dad's saying that I should share the Wednesday video that Dean Coulson did with Emma. So I'll send you the link for that. He's a nutritionist, and he was talking about food sensitivities and common issues for elimination. And he was talking about lactase and other dietary enzymes to help rebuild your gut, because if you've got leaky gut syndrome, because of the other stuff going on, you need to deal with that before you deal with anything else. That was my understanding of it.
But my doctor refuses to acknowledge that there's anything wrong with me.
Well, it's because they're not trained in it.
I have exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. My pancreas doesn't work properly.
It's a bit lazy of it, and rather rude.
Extremely lazy. Very extremely rude. But yeah. Rita microwaves hers.
Oh, see, I'm in good company. That's made my day, Rita.
Oh, you ladies.
But I had an interesting conversation today with my hairdresser. It was on a par with our usual level of conversation.
Are you allowed to talk to your hairdresser?
Through our masks.
Oh,
I don't know. I had to have my mask on, and I had to put my hand under. You know when you put your head on the sink.
Yeah.
I had to tuck the towel underneath my mask thing that was going around the back of my head, and oh goodness me. But it made me laugh that instantly she said, oh, I meant to ask you, how are your tits?
You didn't get them out to show her, did you?
I didn't, but she's someone who's had years of cysts.
So she feels your pain.
Yeah, and knows exactly what's going on there, and of course regularly goes for mammograms, and she's only a young woman. I mean, it's quite sad really the way they mess her around and make excuses about it being hormones. She just wants a double mastectomy.
Right.
She's desperate to just have them removed, and she was talking about the only way that she could achieve that was the surgeon had said that if she pays for basically a boob job,
right,
and they'll remove all the problematic tissue, and then replace it with silicone blobbies. So,
but didn't you say that that's not a good idea, because if there is anything sinister, it's very difficult to see it behind?
They have to do a different type of scan to be able to see.
Right.
But having said that, they also remove a lot of the breast tissue, and in someone that age, they're probably taking away potentially dangerous stuff before it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
But the issue then is that the silicone blobbies only last so many years. I think you have to have them replaced every 15 or 20 years.
Can you get the test for the gene on the NHS? You know, isn't there supposed to be a marker or something that says you're more susceptible?
Yeah.
And will they do that test on the NHS?
I don't know.
Because that might be a way around it. Like if she can persuade a doctor to do the test and it comes back saying she's got the gene, maybe she'd be able to persuade them then.
Yeah, possibly.
At the moment, they're basically saying there's no reason to do it, aren't they?
I know. But it was a bit surreal today, being covered from head to foot, front and back, in a plastic gown.
Excellent.
And then another plastic cover over the towel. And oh, honestly, everything was sanitized within an inch of its life, including me, I think. And then I said, next time I come, because she's in a market hall, and it's one of those where she's got a fancy unit that they've installed for the sort of shower bit.
Yeah.
Washing, but she has to carry, honestly, this bucket about this big of water several times a day to fill this thing up.
She's going to have good arms.
And she's got beautiful arms, bless her, but she's got to carry that several times a day now because she has to wash everyone's hair. And I said, well, can't I wash my hair at home? And she said, you can, but you have to bring me a note that says you've come from the house to your car, parked your car, and come straight to see me and not gone to any other shop. Can you do that? And I said, I absolutely can in future, yeah. Because I didn't go anywhere else. I went straight there because that's what I was going for. I may have fallen into the wool shop on the way out because it's a one-way system and I had to walk past it.
Do you know what? The gods were against you.
It's just one of them things.
The young gods.
Oh, Jennifer's here. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, nice to see you.
Oh, my dad's put the link to Dean's website for you.
Oh, cool. I'll have a look. I can Facebook him, can I?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that a bit like throwing the book at him?
Something like that.
Cool. So,
Jennifer, if you look on the chat, there's Uncle Basie.
Is Uncle what?
When Jennifer's sister Emma was a little toddler, she couldn't say Dave, so she called my dad Basie. And it was ever so cute because she used to just look up at him and she'd be Basie. And it was just, I want something and you're going to get it for me.
You're going back in for dessert, aren't you?
Yeah, this is frozen raspberries, quark and sugar-free jelly. Dean would be horrified. But you know it.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm horrified because you're not sharing.
Well, I'll post you some.
Yeah, post me some.
Oh, Jennifer's saying Emma was so cute. She was absolutely adorable.
Was she?
Really was. So sweet.
Love it.
She used to call me Loraine. And prompted by your dad, she would always say, Loraine got fat knees. Fat knees. Because I've got little fat legs and little fat knees.
That's unacceptable. That's one of those words that you shouldn't be using anymore, you know.
Yeah, we are talking about 30 years ago, probably.
All right. I'll let you off then. Not allowed to use OCD either. It's naughty. Do you want to see what I'm making?
Well, let's have a look then. Whip it out.
Guess what these are going to be?
I don't know.
Pants.
You've got kind of a bottom fetish going on at the moment, haven't you?
So this is going to be the bum, and they're going to be where the ruffles go. Now I've learned how to do that.
Rib. It looks like twisted.
That is a twisted rib, one by one. Twisted. You know me. If I'm doing a rib, it's going to be twisted. If I'm going to the effort of ribbing, I do like a twisted rib. I have to admit. I've definitely got a style, haven't I?
You have. You absolutely have.
Twisted rib and as much stockinette or garter as I can get away with. Preferably in the round, preferably no seaming.
Well, I don't mind a little bit of seaming, and it depends if it's adding structure.
Yeah, but I'd rather not.
Like
so I've done a certain amount of maths.
Right.
So we'll see if we get to the end of the maths that I've done before the end of the evening and whether I have to stop knitting or not. But this is actually the second time that I've made these.
Right.
I got almost to the end with one kind of construction and I didn't like it, and then so I've ripped it out and I'm doing it slightly different. So we shall see. And I haven't managed to get out in the garden today.
Is that because of the rain, or has it been cold? Or?
It was absolutely persisting it down this morning.
Okay.
And then I went for a walk with Anne at lunchtime, and when I come back it was boiling, cloudy but boiling, you know.
It's very humid here, quite muggy.
Yeah,
and
you can feel we need thunder.
Mm.
It's supposed to be really roasting hot tomorrow, but I didn't have time to go out in the garden and do anything today.
I've got my fibre supplement in my mug of tea, so I'll probably provide thunder later.
Oh, excellent. Superb. Yeah, I don't like to go out and do things like that in the afternoon. It needs to get done in the morning. I've got 3 red strawberries. I'm going to pick them tomorrow.
All right, from your garden?
Yeah. I need to, do you like when you pick your strawberries, do you pick them with the stalk still on, or should you cut them, or should you leave the stalk on the plant? What do you do? I don't know.
I'm not really sure, and I did try and grow them a few years ago. Unfortunately, my crop of strawberries was eaten by fat Labradors.
Ow.
As was evidenced by the red smears on all my furniture downstairs, when they would get a mouthful and then come back in and then sort of slurp it all over everything that they just licked on the way past.
At least someone enjoyed them.
They really did like them. And if we go walking in particular fields a few weeks from now, when it will be bramble season,
oh yeah,
Mocha will be in the hedges eating all the low-lying brambles and blackberries and whatever else is on offer. She'll be scranning those, and the other one will be going, what you after, what you after.
Arthur's been enjoying a few blackberries on our walks in the morning. There's some out. The early ones are out.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm thinking of getting one in my back garden.
I quite like red currants. I should really grow some of those in the front garden, but it does get quite windy there.
I think once they're established, it's all right. They're quite hardy, aren't they?
Well, and there is a fence, well, a kind of fence between us and next door, which blows over in the slightest wind. Oh, yeah. It would sort of protect them, but the wind, generally speaking, doesn't come from that direction. It's just this winter, and most of the spring it seems to have come from that direction, which is very unusual. So right. I don't know whether to chance it, because it nearly took out my garden table last time.
Oops.
Yeah, should have been extremely unhappy about. And then while he was tramping all over my gravel and moaning about it, he was almost blaming my table. Oh. And I said, well, you could go over there and fix it from your own side, which he did.
Go away.
Yeah.
People. Grrr.
You
need to shout armadillo at me yet?
Sorry?
I said, do you need to shout armadillo at me yet?
No, not yet.
That's good.
No, it's not like last week where it's soapbox central.
Yeah, I definitely was on my soap. I don't know what was wrong with me.
Oh, Jennifer says dig up the whole plant to be sure.
Well, you know, there is a method to that. I'm going to have a chocolate. You're making me hungry eating all that nice dessert.
Well, it's half a packet of jelly.
I do like jelly.
Half a tub of quark. I can manage a little bit of quark because it's got the least amount of lactose, that, you know, compared to actual lactose-free.
Yeah, I don't have any dairy at all now, which is depressing because I used to love a cup of tea. And that was one of my strategies as well. If I got hungry, instead of eating anything, I'd go and make myself a cup of tea.
Well, this Dean was talking the other day about how he craved cheese and would drink a pint of milk of an evening and then would be bunged up and snotty and coughing and choking all night, and then had desperate problems with indigestion. And it was basically all the food sensitivities. It wasn't that he actually had too much stomach acid or the reflux wasn't down to weight or anything else. It was purely down to what was going into his system. and the reaction of his body. And once he'd sorted that out, he's never used a Gaviscon or anything since.
Well, the doctor put me on those flipping, what do you call them? Oh, what are those? They stop you from producing the stomach acid. What are they called?
What you mean, like Gaviscon, antacid?
You take it in the morning on an empty stomach. It will come to me as soon as I'm off the thingy.
Is it Azemoprol or Mazaprol?
Michelle knows because I've told Michelle.
Prol. Dad will know because he'll be on it. Lansoprazole.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Dad. I think Dad's on that, right, Dad?
Yeah, the doctor's put me on that just recently, just a few weeks back, because my issues are all starting to come back.
Oh, well, Dean's saying that in most cases, people that have those issues don't actually need that. What they need is stomach enzymes, and they actually need a bit more stomach acid in their diet because they've not got enough stomach acid.
When I was at the height of it,
I don't know.
Well, it was a couple of years back when I was at the height of my pain and that, and the doctor just wasn't listening to me. I came that close to asking for, and I hope that nobody's eaten their dinner or anything, but I was going to ask for a fecal transplant because I'd read about it and I thought that might help. I was that desperate. It's pleasant, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm sure it helps a lot of people.
I would have, honestly, 100%, I would have willingly done it. I was that bad.
Right. Do you need to do an increase for the neck on this row?
I don't know, do you?
I think I might.
Every other row?
It's every other increase. It's every fourth row, isn't it?
That's what I meant. You know, every other. I meant every other right side row, not actually every other row.
Yeah.
You knew what I meant.
I did. I'm just being pedantic.
Yeah, but I'm just not using my words properly tonight either.
It's because you've not had enough gin.
Right. There's no gin in this room to be had.
No. Did it put you off last week?
Did I have gin last week?
I can't remember if it was last week or the week before.
Yeah, I had something last week, but I can't remember if no, it wasn't gin. It was Archer's.
Oh, okay. Oh, Archer's schnapps, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it.
It was.
Yeah,
oh, it was.
See? Oh, Anne's with us. She says I'm not allowed any gin. She's a party pooper, isn't she?
Terrible.
Shocking. Anne, where you going on Saturday? I've forgotten where you're going. Anne won't know. She just gets in the car and goes where she's told. Somewhere in the Lake District, that's all I can tell you. I think they're going Keswick way. Is it Keswick? Windermere? Somewhere? I don't know. I said she should come and see you. She's going to Paris. She's joking, saying that she could be going to Paris for all she knows. It's funny. Oh, so how's your baby dress test coming along? Is it nearly
okay? I think one of the ladies have posted a progress shot of purple skirt and a lighter. I can't tell if it's a creamy or a grey or a white bib, but the lace is looking lovely. She's making a beautiful job of it.
Beautiful. One of your testers mentioned doing stripes.
Yeah.
And I thought she meant stripes upwards for each pattern.
No.
She meant round. Right.
Yeah.
It's funny how people read
repeat.
Yeah.
And she was talking about changing colour, so I put a photograph of how it looks with stripes.
Yeah, I saw that.
It does dramatically change the way that it would look. So I said, I don't mind, but be sure that that's what you want. Have a look at it, because I don't think it's as nice. But if she likes it, She's the one knitting it.
Personal preference, I suppose, isn't it?
No, absolutely. And I must take a paracetamol because I had a thumping headache earlier.
Is it caused by the mugginess?
It could be the mugginess.
Or the muggles?
Possibly more the muggles, to be honest. But no. Who knows?
Somebody knows, but it's not me. I was dead lazy. I was sitting around in my pajamas until 11 o'clock this morning.
Really?
Yeah. So I said I was having a day off. Well, I walked the dog at 5 o'clock, but as I have been doing all week, I've been walking him and then getting back in bed and going back to sleep.
All right. So Anne says Ambleside and then Keswick after that. So she's starting sort of middle of the county and then moving north.
Right.
I'm in the south.
She could wave to you on her way past.
Could do, yeah. Mm. Oh, and she's in PJs now.
Good show.
I'm in yesterday's dirty top because that's what I wore to go to the hairdressers. So I didn't want to get hair on a nice knitted top. That wouldn't have been good, would it? Oh, and she's ironing. Can I send you some? Is that okay? In fact, on your way to Ambleside, if you did a bit of a detour, you could pick some up and then drop it off at the end of the week.
I don't even know what this ironing thing is. What is it?
It's a mythical thing.
An iron does this thing called blocking. I know that.
Yeah, I use them for blocking knits and things like that.
But I don't know anything else. No clue. Way past my head. Michelle likes the gin. Actually, Michelle got a really nice one for her birthday. I think it was watermelon and strawberry or something.
Oh, that sounds fun, doesn't it?
I said it'd be really nice with lemonade. Because I think sometimes the tonic can be a bit bitter for some of the fruity ones. Oh, Helen's there. I want some of this jam. Did she promise us some? Didn't she say she was going to make us some breakfast?
I'm absolutely certain she promised to send us some jam. What else? Oh, yeah. She's been frogging and re-knitting her beautiful blanket.
Yeah.
We got to see a square of on the Zoom call with Peggy the other Saturday.
Yeah.
And just doing tons of work on that. So I am sort of super excited to see how those squares are coming out. I think that's going to be a triumph because I know a cable blanket that Helen did was just it's just absolutely amazing. And when I think of the various shapes and the amount of maths and placement and swatching and frogging and all the rest that went into it, people have no idea about how much time it takes to design. And I can't remember who linked it earlier today, but somebody put a link to a ranty post, and this girl's seriously going off about yarn choices and yarn substitution.
All right.
And very eloquently over an extremely long article explains why it's up to you, the knitter, to choose your own yarn. And if you need help from your yarn shop, ask them.
Yeah.
But it's not up to the designers because they've probably made it 10 times already. They're not getting paid enough anyway.
No.
They probably have to buy the yarn, and if they don't have to buy the yarn, then they've had it donated and they've got to work with what they want to work with. And she quite rightly points out that if you're watching Giada or Ina Garten or Delia Smith, Delia Smith uses these very expensive capers from Fortnum and Mason.
Yeah.
And you substitute them for a cheaper ingredient. You don't phone her up at home at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night like some people have done with designers. They've tracked them down at home and contacted them at home, demanding answers to questions right now.
Because I'm making it.
And apparently it's up to us to be there 24/7. So But you would never think of criticising Giada for using Italian pasta because she's got family in Italy and she probably brought it back from a trip. You wouldn't slag her off for that just because you've got to get your pasta from Tesco or Asda Value or whatever. So why make it the responsibility of the knitwear designer? And I don't think people really understand what it's about.
No.
And what's involved. And Helen's pattern for the blanket, I think, is a prime example of the hundreds upon hundreds of hours work plotting it out and making it fit and making the cables work so that it's not too narrow in the space that it's to fit, so that everything fits absolutely perfectly and joins together, and you get to follow along the pattern and basically just do as you're told without having to think about it.
Yeah.
That's the skill of the designer. It's not up to her to then spend 3 weeks talking you through every yarn shop that you look at, or having to know about every yarn from every country, which is what some people expect.
Yeah, because what I find here isn't what's available in America, isn't what's available in Australia, isn't what's available in Turkey.
Yeah, and I get people saying, "Oh, is brown sheep lamb's pride suitable for this, that, and the other?" And my first question to them, having Googled it, is, "Well, do you want an item that's machine washable or not?" Because if you do, then it's not going to be suitable for anything. Because it's not one of those yarns unless you've got the superwash. And the only reason I know that is because Joan sent me a boatload of it before she died.
Yeah.
And I'm quietly working through those colours and doing bits of designs with them. And it's been really joyous to do that. But that's pure happenstance that I've come across that yarn. It's not one I could actually get in the UK, and it will cost me a fortune to get it sent.
Yeah, so
I think I had to pay about £30 in taxes when it arrived, and she'd even split the parcel between Jake and I to reduce the VAT.
Yeah,
because she knew I'd be charged VAT on the shipping, even though it was a gift.
It's just mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's crazy.
And then on top of all your hours, and on top of the fact that you probably have to buy the yarn yourself, I've less than 5 times have I been given yarn to work with. The rest of the time it comes out of my pocket, and then you've got to pay the tech editor, which is expensive. Who's making money? Because I'm not.
I'm not at the moment, but I wouldn't at this time of year anyway. I wouldn't expect to.
It's not exactly
but I kind of feel that there's a very wide market, and there's a lot of difference between someone who's a part-time designer and someone who is absolutely knows the grindstone 7 days a week doing it, or has a team of people, you know, somebody to do the social media, somebody to do the website, somebody to do the admin, and they just, you know, knit patterns and do the designy bit, and then they pay a tech editor and all the rest of it. So there's people at that end, and then there's some in the middle, and then there's others at the sort of bottom end. I kind of see myself along the bottom feeder area at the moment, in that I've got patterns that sell all the time. I've got some that only sell seasonally. I've got a handful that don't sell at all, and I think, oh, should I retire that pattern? And then somebody buys it, and then I sit baffled all month thinking, well, why did someone just buy it right now when I was thinking to retire it? Is this a sign from the universe that it's got to be a huge success? No, just somebody liked it. Maybe they heard I was thinking of retiring it and bought it.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's so baffling. It is. And it's one of those things that it's an opportunity that's good for women because it fits around childcare, work responsibilities, family, home life. Yeah. And it's also your hobby, so it makes it a pleasurable job to do. And I think by making it harder for designers to get into the business and telling them where they should be allowed to sell, how they should be allowed to sell their patterns, what yarns they should use, and all of this interfering crap, is just a way of controlling women.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels at the moment. It's hard enough, thank you very much. We use affordable yarns, but that's not because we particularly love them more than anything else. It's because that's what we can afford.
Yeah.
So, you know.
We're doing the best job we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And likes of Helen, like me, is another one who will shop at the likes of Kemp's and places like that. And we actively look out for discounts. And how often do we talk in here about a drop sale and stuff like that? Because you can get it for 60p a ball instead of £1.20 or whatever the deal is at the time. We all share that with one another.
Yeah.
And nobody's critical or sniffy about the fact that somebody wants an acrylic or someone else wants a bamboo or whatever, because it's personal choice. And I don't know, I think the world just needs to be a bit more live and let live at the minute, and it's a bit snarky.
There just seems to be so many problems in the knitting world at the moment. I don't understand it.
It feels like it's imploding.
It is. Do you know, like a couple of years ago, I used to do sample knitting for Marie Wallen.
Yeah.
And I always wondered how she could do so much, even with it being her full-time job. It turns out that she doesn't even write the patterns herself.
No, a lot of them don't. I
said, there's an error in this pattern, and I pointed it out because obviously it was where you're doing the sample knitting, you literally get a piece of paper with instructions on it. You've no idea what it looks like or anything. And you are making the first one, so there cannot be a photo of it. And you know, and I pointed out what was wrong with it. And the reply I got back was, okay, I'll get in touch with my pattern writer so that she can fix it. And to me, I was gobsmacked. I was like, I know you don't knit it yourself. I know you have a tech editor, so you've got sample knitters, you've got tech editor, you have a professional photographer, you've got printers, you get given all your yarn for free, and you've even got a pattern writer. So are you telling me that you just sit and draw a sketch and that's what you get paid all the big bucks for?
And she's not the only one. If you look at the Rowan patterns by Anna and Carlos, they do a swatch and a sketch.
Yeah.
And send it over to Rowan. Someone else knits the sample, someone else writes the pattern, because they, Anna and Carlos, as you know, being Norwegian knitters, basically work everything in the round. Yeah. And that's the way they do stuff. And Rowan, a lot of stuff is worked flat and seam.
Yeah.
So someone else writes the patterns. They've done the design and the conceptual element, but they don't do the pattern writing for those things. They do for their own sweaters and stuff.
Yeah.
But not for likes of Rowan. I think Jane Ellison's the same. I think something she'd done for Stylecraft or Third Stylecraft maybe. There was an issue with one of the patterns. Or was it James Brett? It was James Brett. They had the line in the shop at Woolly, and it was you know, these waterfall sort of cardigans where you make one side wider, and it's basically a wider rectangle with a sleeve.
Yeah.
So the front's as wide as the back, both fronts, and then they just drop and drape. Very, very simple. And I'm reading through this pattern, because this customer's rang up and said to me, I can't follow this pattern. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, no wonder you can't. They had missed off the instructions for the right front entirely from the printed pattern. So I get in touch with Brett, who then put me in touch with Jane Ellison, who puts me in touch with one of her sample knitters, who I then have to post a pattern to because they haven't sent her one.
Right.
Which I then demanded the money back for, and the postage. By this time, I've used about 10 hours of my time. It took me 4 months of messaging this poor woman to get the corrections. And from what I can see, they still haven't updated the pattern and those errors on the website. And this is 6, maybe 8 years ago. And I
It's
had
not.
to send this Word document out to this lady, and she said, "Is it right?" And I said, "It looks right, but to be honest, this isn't up to me to support it. It's up to them. I've already given you 12 hours of my time for nothing for a pattern that you paid £2.90 for."
Yeah.
So I said, "I'm going to email you the instructions, and it's up to you now. I'll give you the lady's contact details, and it's up to you to sort it out. Not my problem." But the designer had absolutely no idea. And having met Debbie Bliss, who's lovely, by the way, absolutely adorable in person, very, very knowledgeable, and clearly a knitter. But I don't think she writes her patterns either.
I doubt it very much. Louisa Harding, Nikki Epstein. I don't think any of them do.
Yeah, and it annoys me that some of these big names are a bit sniffy about indie designers, and the reality is that we do the lot. We've actually got the skills.
Yeah.
So stick that in your pipe and smoke
because we have to do the full thing with no help.
Absolutely. Oh, Helen's saying that blanket squares are coming out as rectangles. Well, that's fine as long as you'll have worked it all out. It's cool. Michelle's saying alcohol and knitting, what could possibly go wrong? Do tell us, Emma.
Are you doing Fable, Michelle? I want to know if she's, because she was making masks last week instead of knitting.
Oh, okay.
So, oh, can you hear the doggy? It's a bit warm for him, I think. Panting away there. Arnie Lane's with us as well, or she was. I don't know if she still is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Never mind. Anyway, I've finished my pudding now. I can pick up my knitting again safely without covering it in wet raspberries.
So I'm going to have ruffles on my bottom. Do you think
ruffles on your bottom?
Yeah, do you think 6 ruffles on the bottom is quite, you know?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. There's something wrong with my animal. What's wrong with you?
He looks a bit hot and bothered. I think he's got some sulphur in his water.
Sulphur?
Yeah, rock sulphur.
Does it help?
Helps a lot.
Oh, never heard of that before.
Well, we always used to have sulphur in the dog's water. I put it in for our two, and it stops them drinking the skanky water outside.
Yeah, he likes to drink that. Because I've got a few pots around where I've been saving the rainwater for my plants, but the plants never get it because he drinks it.
Yeah, that's what these two do.
Naughty doggies. He'll be fine if I offered him a sweet, though. You know what he's like. So what were we talking about last week when we were discussing that that yarn, that bellissima of yours up the top there, and you said it might be good for that project?
It was a Laura Ayler shawl.
All right, okay. Oh yeah, we were talking summer shawls, weren't we? I am very tempted to buy a campsite cardie as well. I've got the pullover, and I know we've only got a few hours.
You've got 24 hours. Finished on the 1st of August, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, you know, it's one of those ones that would be good just to have in your library. And I think I might be able to sneak it in through the bank statement, you know.
Right. Well, it's only a small purchase. I don't know whether I've got it handy. I did a swatch, and I'll be doing the raglans differently from the pattern, because the pattern says you knit to the marker and then knit front and back, slip marker, knit front and back. And I don't like the wiggly bump you get from knit front and back. Yeah, so I knit into one stitch before marker, M1. Knit one, slip marker, M1. Sorry, knit one.
Yeah.
Then M1, so that I've got 2 stitches between the raglan increases. Because I just think it's neat and nice and will work well for that. I mean, it was no effort for me to. The markers are in exactly the same place as they are for the pattern, so it's the only thing I'm doing differently, and it's how I prefer to do my raglans. So
Yeah, I mean, it's personal preference. I don't like a knit front and back, to be honest. I think I don't like the effect it gives. It's an easy way of increasing, as in you don't really have to think about it, but it doesn't give you a nice effect. When I did Fable, she did exactly that. You had knitted one stitch either side of the marker, and you do yarn overs and you close them on your way back.
Yeah, I prefer that. I find that much easier than M1s. It's easier for me to get a neater line.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine, isn't it? I don't mind. I don't mind an open yarn over along a raglan either sometimes. I think whatever you do, it's got to be consistent. That is the main thing. You have to do the exact same increase every single time, otherwise it's not going to look great. Even if you do one wrong, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
It does, and for me as well, you have to be careful about the size of your yarn overs because you don't want sloppier holes and tinier holes. And
yeah, exactly.
for me, it's got to be even, and it's my inner perfectionist that just doesn't like it to look untidy.
Yeah,
and I dare say a judicious blocking would probably do with most of that.
I do think open yarn overs have more of a place in shawls than in jumpers, to be honest.
Oh, so Helen says that the blanket's going to be very much like her other one style-wise. So she's playing with LibreOffice Draw, playing with the colours. It's going to be beautiful. Michelle's back to the jumper of doom.
Oh no, not the jumper of doom.
And Helen says she likes left and right increases. Yeah, I like M1R, M1L. I find it works better for me.
Are we the only one doing the campside cow here?
Is anybody else joining into the campsite knit along? I think Helen's got enough on her plate with with this blanket.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to have something that you're not designing on the go, though, isn't it?
Well, true.
I really enjoy
Depends how excited you are and how much you're into it. It might be one of those things that you can't kind of put down. We've all had a design like that that's really grabbed you.
You know, a little ballet cardie, that was a good little knit. I enjoyed that. Didn't have to think about it. Just fold. Is that coming out soon?
Yeah, I might release it at the end of this week. I just need to
tomorrow
estimate the yardage, well, possibly Sunday. Try and do a more accurate estimate of the yardage for the other sizes. And I did debate about making the largest size just to be sure.
Yeah, I think the smallest and the largest you need to be the most accurate with, really, don't you? I suppose.
Yeah, I mean the yarn quantities are going to if they're going to use something like special DK, so a 100-gram ball, you probably get 2 cardigans out of 200-gram balls.
Yeah.
Smallest sizes, and 1 for the largest, based on the yardage that I'd expect.
I think I used less than 50 grams for each, didn't I? I think.
Yeah, that's for the 0 to 6 months, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first sort of proper baby size.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my yarn estimates are going to be well within the limits and have a bit of a fudge factor.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because you want to give people enough so that they're not running out if their gauge isn't quite right and they're using more than you, but you don't want it to be too much over so that they end up buying a ball that they don't need.
I did look at people using, just to see if people had used like Wendy Aaron, you know, with the 20% wool, 80% acrylic and things like that, because I've got some mustard yarn that would be nice for campside and I was thinking about. So I did a quick project search and looked through, and there's this girl who's sort of inherited a ball of the green to make the cardigan, and it looks really nice.
Yeah.
She'd have had to buy a second 400-gram ball just for the borders. So in the end, she bought a smaller ball of some different Aran and used all of that and did a grey or something like that. And it looks nice. It works really well. But it was the comment that made me nearly die laughing was, who would buy another 400 grams and end up with such an enormous amount in stash? And I'm thinking, God, if you went into my bedroom, you would die at the amount of yarn. I'm thinking, this enormous and stash do not relate to 400 grams of yarn. They just don't.
I've only got one word for that. Amateur.
Helen says she was looking when I bought my blanket yarn, so it's only taken me 3.5 years to get round to it. Well, that's good. Did Mary send you around to it so that you could get on? Because Emma used to waiting for you around to it.
I think I must have had one because I've been getting loads of things finished off this last week or so, haven't I?
You have. You've been really good, yeah.
I even got I mean, Vera's been sat there for nearly a year with no photos, and that was the only thing that I needed to do. That is quite shocking, really.
The pattern's looking really good.
Oh, I've got a really good tech editor proofreader.
Oh, right.
She does wonders. She's amazing.
Yeah, you don't want to get all big-headed. Yeah, you don't want that happening.
All right, then. She might put her prices up.
Yeah.
We won't go there then.
Yeah, so it's probably not a conversation to have. Just, yeah. Sweep that one under the carpet.
Armadillo.
Armadillo, yeah. Cool. What have you got? Have you got a plastic dish that you're tearing to pieces? What a clever girl. She's saving the planet.
Did she attack it? Did she save everyone from the plastic?
It's when I have my quark.
Yeah.
I give her the pot. I let them both have a lick of the pot. Not that I leave much in because I'm a pig. But there's some in there. And Mocha will have a little bit of it. But she knows that if I let Coco take it, Mocha will get either a fuss or a biscuit. And she's quite content with either. Whereas Coco just loves anything yogurty or that's yours.
Why does quark always make me think of Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, and I don't know if you meant to say it as quark or whatever. I never quite know. It's one of those weird names. It's not quite as up its own backside as quinoa, for goodness sake.
Oh, quinoa. Quinoa.
Oh, God. I mean, how full of its own self-importance is that stuff?
It's Mrs. Bucket, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
So I moved things around in my lounge this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had the dining table up by the front window, which is where the sort of big radiator is in the lounge. And it was quite nice to have our meals there and look out into the front garden or have a nosy on the street or whatever. I'll just enjoy that it was very light. And it was handy there for if I wanted to sew.
Right.
Or seaming or anything I needed to lay out to block or measure or stuff like that. It was a handy place to have it. But it's a black metal table with a black glass top.
All right.
And I was thinking, do I need to move things around? And we have a fireplace in front of the chimney breast, which is sort of middle of the room along the longest wall. And I thought the thing to do was to move the dining table in front of that fireplace because it's only a little plug-in electric fire, you know, one of these pretendy cool things.
Yeah.
It's just a fan heater and we never use it. Never ever use it. So I thought put the table in front of that.
Yeah.
Put a cover over it. Might have hidden a few bags of things underneath the table at the back where it's out of the way. Put the chairs round. Put my telly onto the table so that it's closer and I can actually see the telly properly now. And I put my sewing machine on one side at the back, nearest to the plug, and next to a chair where I can actually sit and sew and not have to move everything and pick up the the stupid foot pedal thing so that the dogs don't sleep on it and all of that. Got all of that organised. And Jake came downstairs and he went, "My God!" And I said, "What is it?" And he said, "The room looks twice the size." He said, "I can't believe how much lighter it is because that black table has moved away from the window and it was just absorbing all the light that came into the room."
Right. You wouldn't think it, would you?
It never occurred to me.
No, it wouldn't occur to me either.
Yeah, so now I've all bored you to sleep with the tail of my living room.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's important to know that you're getting enough light.
Well,
Bad for your health.
I like natural light.
I do.
And I think it just makes a difference, even if I have to, because the sun is sort of on that side of the house as well. I do have the blinds shut a lot, but it's letting a lot more light through, more diffuse light, so it's not as strong and overwhelming.
Yeah.
So it's kind of working well.
I sleep.
I'm desperate to start swatching with this.
Swatch it. You're allowed to swatch. Is there a time that we can cast on?
I don't know. I'd have to go into the group and have a looky, to be honest. I didn't check the details because it kind of, you know me, last minute kid. Oh,
wow. Are you going to have to go back to the wool shop to get some more of that then?
Alicia did say that one of the things she's been practicing is knitting with her eyes shut.
Why?
Well, I asked that question and she said because there's macular degeneration in the family, which there is in mine.
All right.
And she says she still wants to be able to knit when she can't see the knitting. So she does a lot of her knitting with her eyes shut, feeling the yarn. And I thought that was interesting because I'm sat now and I'm not looking at my knitting. I'm just feeling it as I go along. So it makes perfect sense that I would be able to do that.
It's muscle memory.
Yeah.
I think it's very much like, do you remember when you learnt to drive and they kept saying to you, don't look at your feet and don't look at the gear stick and that?
Yeah.
When you do look, it kind of puts you off, doesn't it?
Don't drive on the pavement, don't hit those.
Well, don't do
that sort of thing.
Yeah, but if you look at what you're doing with your gear stick, it kind of puts you off and you forget where you're supposed to go. But if you don't look at it, your hand just automatically puts it in the right place.
Yeah, and I find it worrying that from a psychology point of view, my inner child is the one doing the driving 90% of the time, because 5 minutes in the car and I've completely zoned out and my inner 5-year-old is driving. My subconscious mind is driving.
And you get somewhere and you're like, I don't remember getting here.
Yeah, don't remember the journey. Or I'll get part way to Barrow at the tricky roundabout and suddenly almost wake up.
Yeah, or you end up somewhere else and you've gone into custard mode, which is what my husband calls it. When you go into custom and you just automatically do something, he calls that custard mode.
Yeah, where was it I was going the other day? I was going to the hospital for the booby appointment.
Oh yeah.
And instead of turning left to go to the hospital at the main roundabout at the bottom of Barrow, I turned right. So given that I was 10 minutes early, I went and filled the car up with petrol at Asda's and then went round to the hospital. So it was fine. It saved me a trip later, but I thought, you idiot, I'm automatically driving to the college at the other end of town.
Custard mode.
Yeah, because my brain says, well, this is where we go in the morning.
Yeah.
And we're not even going to discuss the number of times I've gone the wrong way on the M6.
No, don't do that. My husband, when we've been going, like obviously because we live in the north, but we used to live in the south. And down south. And we used to live down south and come up north to visit people. But now we live up north and go down south to visit people.
Yeah.
We were going home one time and he was going the wrong way on the M25. I'm like, no, the M1, sorry. And I was like, why have you just gone on here? And he said, well, because we live that way. And I'm like, not anymore. We're going home. Yeah, we live. No. He got on the M1 and then thought, oh, I need to go south, not north. Come back off. I don't know. You couldn't even remember where we lived. Oh, M3, M25 commutes to work. Oh, I used to go on the A3 down to Guildford and then down past there, down Portsmouth. Got on the A3 down to Portsmouth, innit? Comes from
I'll take your word for it. I don't really do south.
I watched one of the last episodes of Have I Got News for You? And they were doing, I think they were taking the Mickey out of Dominic Cummings on because that's what they seem to do quite a lot towards the end of the series. One of the games they played was Guess That Road, right?
Yeah.
And they did 3 of them, and I got them all right. As far as I remember, there was one road, the A66 was the first one.
Yeah.
And you would have got that one as well.
Yeah.
Then the second one was I can't remember which road it was, but it's one of the roads that I go on.
We watched the episode at the same time.
Yeah. And then I'll go on that road to get to Hay-on-Wye, so I got that one right. And then the other one was down south where I used to come from. I was like, I am that sad person that knows the motorways. There's no hope for me.
Do you know every pothole as well?
I don't know. No, I'm not that sad.
Okay.
So there is hope for me.
There is hope. Right, well, I've cast on.
Yay.
25 stitches.
Just swatching.
Yeah, just a swatch.
I love it.
Do love long tail cast on.
I don't do a long tail cast on. I do a knitted cast on.
Oh, long tail every time that I can get away with it.
Is that like a zigzag?
So fast. No.
What's the zigzag?
I don't know.
You know, I did the zigzag.
The provisional one.
Is that the provisional? I can't remember.
That was the provisional cast on. Yeah.
Right. There you go. See.
I love long tail cast on. It's the issue is that you've got to have a long enough tail.
Well, you know, that is an issue on many occasions.
Yeah, size does matter.
Yeah. No matter what they say.
Yeah, and a woman's inch is different to a man's inch. Just saying.
Yeah, it's not our fault we can't park.
Well, no, it's that lack of spatial awareness, isn't it? It's because we weren't allowed Meccano as children.
I was allowed Lego.
Oh, we had Lego. My brother hated it because you had to actually look at a diagram to make something, and I think he just wanted to throw some. Oh, Helen says, I didn't remember most of my M3, M25 commutes to work. Yeah, it's brain dead, isn't it?
Yeah. You just go into active mode.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, row number 4.
4?
What do I need to do?
30. I think you should just keep doing that until, you know, the end of tonight.
What time are we finishing?
4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. I need to make a coffee. I found 2 jars of coffee in the cupboard.
Oh, result.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't really drink it.
Yeah, but, you know,
I only bought it in for visitors.
I was going to say, you might be around
visitors.
You might at some point. Like, I'm hoping to come one day.
Oh, well. I'll keep the coffee for you then. If it's out of date, I'll just tell you.
As long as it's sealed, it's not really good. I've drunk milk that's out of date by a week, but it's been sealed in the bottle and it's fine.
Yeah, I don't really rely on use by and sell by dates and any of that rubbish.
Does it smell all right?
Ellen says she's given up on the long tail cast on, just can't get it. Not had trouble with the most of the others. I think with long tail, most people do too short a tail, and I was always taught by my gran that you need an end that is at least 3 times the width of whatever you're making. So if you're making a hat, run the tail round your head at least 3 times, add 12 inches and you're good.
Oh, 12 meters. Generous.
Yeah, and there was always enough if I work it that way.
Sounds good to me.
Or I will go into the middle of the ball of yarn, pull out the yarn bath, and use the outside end and the inside end for the long tail cast on, and then snip the end I don't need when I get to the cast on end. Does that make sense?
But then I don't use that cast on, so
it's just so fast. You can get hundreds of stitches on in a few minutes, and it's efficient.
All right, just because you've been on the ball this week, you know.
Oh no, I don't think I've been on the ball this week.
I think you getting the girls out last week has just gone to your head, hasn't it?
I think it probably has, yeah.
Yeah,
you'd think so. If you went on Instagram, you'd think so. Helen, it's the mechanics of it rather than the length of yarn. Yeah, it is a bit like a dark art until all of a sudden you go, oh, yeah, that's how it works.
All you do is you get your yarn and your needles and you throw them around randomly for a bit and then it's there.
Isn't that how you make a sweater?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Joe Lycett's good at knitting.
All right, cool.
I like Joe Lycett. The more I look at my Highland heathers, the more it looks a little bit sparkly.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. It seems to have a little bit of a sheen somewhere.
A little spark, and it's not showing up on the camera though.
No.
A bit of a sparkle.
The colours are very yummy in real life though.
Yeah, I like it.
I didn't touch any though. She said you can grab what you want, and I just said no, I don't want to, because then you'll have to fill up the display. Get me some out of the stock. So it kept it all looking neat.
Did you enjoy wearing your face mask?
Not really.
I hate the things.
Do you know, I think it's the least I can do to protect other people.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not going to be one of those selfish people that isn't wearing it, but that doesn't mean that I don't have to moan about it.
Well, and the thing is, somebody like Samantha probably has to wear one for 12 hours when she's on shift. And I think if they can do it, and surgeons have been doing it for decades, you know, 15 and 20 hour shifts, I think I can manage for a couple of hours to get the shot.
They have those really tight ones that leave a mark when you come out, don't they? Yeah.
Oh, Dad's come back. Have you had your tea now? Yeah. Been for a brew.
Now he's got his tea all eaten. He's going to be really mischievous, isn't he?
Yeah, extra dose of cheeky. That's what it is.
You could go put the kettle on, make us all a cup of tea.
Yeah, that'd be good. Do you want to place your orders, ladies? It makes a very good cup.
Lovely.
Can you see that?
Looks a bit like grass.
Yeah.
Is it gorse?
It is gorse. Yeah.
What is gorse? Is that a bit like thistles?
It's a really thorny, horridy bush. Our Dad's saying he never eats on an empty stomach.
And don't eat with your mouth full either.
Yeah, try not to do that.
You get shouted at for that.
Well, it's just rude, isn't it?
It is very rude. We'll shout. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just feeling really, really tired this week. I don't know what's going on. And I might be getting my fence done at the weekend.
Oh. The
brother-in-law came up and he had yet another look.
Right. Well, you've got to give things a good coat of looking at.
Yeah, and then he's going to pencil me in for the weekend.
Well, Dad's been interfering. He says Dean Corson said he'd be happy to do a stream in the group on the subject of allergies and food sensitivities and nutrition. If anybody's interested, if you want anybody, let us know, because we'll have any guests that you like.
Well, yeah.
I think Donald Trump, except Donald Trump.
No, we won't have Donald Trump. I think that's where Daddy went.
Yeah. Michelle looks like the colour Meadow she's currently using. Yeah, it probably does on camera, but it's actually much more multi-tonal than that, whereas the Meadow is a flatter colour. This looks more kettle dyed. It's got yellow and green and a bit of blue and all manner of colours going on. Yeah, a bit of brown going on. It's yeah, quite intricate. It looks kettle dyed.
How do they do that? How do they do kettle dye?
I don't know that they do kettle dye. I think it's just a case of how they spin it and what they pull into the spin.
Yeah, but when you say kettle dye, what does that actually involve? What do you
Well,
do?
kettle dye gives sort of a mottled effect. It's not necessarily even.
Right. How do they do that then?
It's just like basically dyeing stuff in a pot using hot
Oh,
water on a stove, like you would a kettle or a drum.
ah, right, yeah, I understand now.
So you're heating the dye and then putting the wool or the fibre into the hot dye. And it
It's not
doesn't always take very evenly to give a solid colour.
right, I'm with you.
Because
It's
it
not like you have to
depends.
put the kettle on and make a cup of tea and it dyes
No,
itself. No.
no, sadly not.
Yeah.
Oh, Michelle says she's always interested in learning new things. If anyone else is interested, let us know and we can ask Dean to pop in at some point and chat to us. He's a big one as well for mental health, and one of the things that he was telling us was quite interesting. And I don't think I'm breaching a confidence because obviously he shared it in a group with quite a few people. So, but the reason that he got into nutrition and health is that he and his wife couldn't have children,
All right.
and they weren't finding answers. And basically, it was down to his health,
Yeah.
and it sorted out his gut health and his mental health and all his enzymes and nutrition, and now they've got this beautiful little boy.
Well, just they say you are what you eat, and if you're eating stuff that doesn't agree with you and causing gut problems, then
Yeah, I always do you remember Dr. Gillian McKeith, who used to be on the telly with that show, You Are What You Eat? And Dara O'Brien, the comedian, absolutely hates her. And he was giving her a real slagging off on one of his Live at the Apollo shows. And he just went, you are what you eat. Must have eaten a feckin' shrew. And
did you ever see?
oh,
Do you watch I'm a Celebrity? Get Me Out of Here, because she went on that, didn't she?
oh, did she?
Oh, she was absolutely awful. She kept pretending to faint to try and get out of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a nutritional advice. I've got a couple of her books, and they are actually quite good. And I've never felt as healthy as when I ate according to her advice.
Yeah, but she had some weird stuff in there as well, though, didn't
Oh
she?
God, yeah, and
Miso. She was obsessed with miso.
she's a little bit on the strident side for me, a bit pushy. And I think people felt sort of almost ambushed and harassed into it rather than encouraged. Whereas someone else might have cheered on from the sidelines, she almost told you off. Oh, Helen Dixon says you should watch Dara O'Brien talk about astrologists. I'll absolutely look that one up. Thank you.
Well,
Shell says that Gillian McKeith was as mad as. So yeah.
He's best friends with Brian Cox now, though, isn't he?
Well, they've got that shared interest in astronomy, haven't they? But not astrology, obviously.
Not astrology, no. There was something in the news recently that we're all the wrong star sign or something.
Yes, I saw that. It would mean I'd have to change to a Pisces.
Would you? What are you now?
I'm Aries, and I think that's absolutely me, the ram.
Stubborn as a ram.
I am a battering ram. I think that completely sums me up. I am a fire sign. I'm angry. I'm quick-tempered. I've got absolutely no patience.
I don't know who you're
Passionate about stuff. I love to help, and
oh, I know that one.
Absolutely Aries to a T. I don't think that's Pisces at all. I don't think I'm a water sign. So yeah, I just think it's sort of trite.
I'm Capricorn, the goat.
All right.
I am stubborn. Well, I
There's
can
a
be.
few people that had to change sign according to the new thing, and I just thought, yeah, whatevs. I'm an Aries, and that's that.
I've been a Capricorn all my life.
What about your Chinese astrology? What are you? I'm a metal monkey.
I have no clue.
I'm a monkey.
I think I will have been born in the year before Chinese, because I think Chinese New Year is after my birthday. So I'm the 7th of January, and isn't it like the 12th or something?
Oh, I don't know.
So you can't even just go and look up like the year.
Oh, you can just do a quick Google foo and it would absolutely.
Yeah, but I think if I just put the year in, it might come up a bit skewed.
Yeah, you have to put the date.
Helen says she's a Libra, fair and balanced. Helen, my husband is a Libra, and he takes forever to make a decision.
My dad's a Libra.
All up. Could do this, but then I could do that.
My dad, I'm looking at the fair and balanced. I think he's more kind of my way or the highway. Oh, and he says he's a dim sum. That's his Chinese sign. A steamed dumpling. Oh, Michelle's a Taurus and a rat. Helen's an ox.
Oh, somebody look up mine. I want to know what I am now.
Awkward. Sorry, did I say that as awkward when I meant adorable? That what I meant.
I forgot to tell you, actually, and I'm glad I forgot to tell you.
Actually,
to tell you this, young lady, Michelle told me that you make me, and I can't even believe she said it, she said, you make me look tactful. And I said, nobody has ever called me tactful in my entire life.
Yeah, well, do you know, that's my purpose, is to make everyone else look tactful in comparison.
It's truthful.
It's because I don't have filters.
I don't have a filter. Literally, think it, say it.
Yeah, it's just out there.
What is a dim sum? Is that like the little
It's those little steamed dumplings.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's lovely. Put that up. Now up to your chin. Oh yeah. Brings out your eyes. That really brings out your eyes, that does.
Well, I'll have to have a look on the.
Yeah. You've got beautiful
I do like that colour.
I like that colour.
Maybe for a beard. Maybe I should knit a beard.
Like a Christmas one.
Yeah.
But a good one. It's like a Christmas tree beard.
Yeah. Maybe that's a Christmas pattern.
That could be a bestseller, you know.
It absolutely could.
With your tea cozies. I tell you what I keep meaning to make is one of those stupid reindeer hat things for the dog.
Oh, okay. What, so I don't destroy it, because that's what would happen.
Yeah, I think he would literally, it would take me a week to make it and he'd destroy it within 7 seconds.
Yeah, it would just, yeah.
But he would look cute in that 7 seconds.
Yeah.
You know.
Right, so we've got enough to do some measuring. Oh, Emma, what have you done with me needle thingy?
She's a Taurus and a goat. I'm a goat as in Capricorn. Have you lost it? Where's it gone?
Oh, I don't know. I tidied up earlier and it's just the pointless thing to do, isn't it? Here we go.
Oh, you got it.
Knit Promo Bob. So I've got 3 inches of knitting there.
Oh, well done. That was quick.
So 3 inches is how many rows? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14,
Oh,
16,
I'm
18, 20.
You've got 20. I just looked it up. I'm a dragon.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Does it?
Are you a gold dragon, like the rare one in The Witcher?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I change. I'll change into a dragon later when I go off. You've never seen me as a dragon.
Yeah, I think my ex-husband would definitely say that I was more of a dragon.
Then, what are you? What did you say?
A ram. I just,
A
they headbutt everything.
That's me as well.
Probably quite accurate, really.
Oh no, I'm a goat, not a ram. Sorry.
You just eat people's clothes while they're wearing them, and
Eat everything, but that's lying because I don't eat anything anymore.
so we've got a couple of Taurus here tonight, and a couple of Libras.
A Libran ox, a Taurus rat, a dim sun,
Yeah.
and I'm a dragon. I think I've got the best one.
What? Which one?
Dragon. I think dragons are great.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Is somebody a monkey? Were you a monkey? Who's the monkey? You the monkey?
I'm the monkey.
Not the monkey. Thought so.
Yeah.
Hey, we're the monkeys. People say we monkey around. Anybody want to join in singing with me, or are you going to shout armadillo?
Armadillo. I did see quite a funny video on YouTube today, and it's this guy who does spoof songs, and it was Boris's head pasted onto the Beatles' bodies, and he calls the group the Cheetles.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
And it's all attacks the government and establishment. There's a Jacob Rees-Mogg one, and there was a Tommy Robinson one today about him moving to Spain because he's terrified. So he's being an economic asylum seeker and migrant,
Right.
who has done exactly what he says they do and bypassed the closest country to the UK to go to Spain.
Because he should have gone to
I thought it was hilarious. Well, France is the closest, so that's where he should have gone. Closest EU country, that's where he should have stayed.
Yeah.
And what the Spanish must absolutely hate the British now for sending that horrible little man over there.
Well, we've upset them twice this week by sending him and by not going there for holidays anymore.
I mean, it's just disgraceful. And Jake and Rosie were supposed to be going to Barcelona, and that's all cancelled. But they've now decided they're going to go later in the year to Sicily, which I think will actually be nice there. I mean, I love Barcelona, don't get me wrong.
Never been.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. I'd like to go. It's the one place in mainland Spain that I really, really would love to go to.
It's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I really liked Barca.
It's a beautiful song.
Well, it is, a bit of Freddie, a bit of Montserrat Caballé.
Written and sang by an absolute genius. You can't beat a bit of Fred.
Well, Did you ever buy the Freddie action figure?
I never did buy the Freddie action figure. I was a little bit skint of funds at that time. I should treat myself, shouldn't I? I think actually it's the ideal time because I am missing a husband. And if this goes on like the old Spanish flu, which took 2 years to burn out, I don't feel like I want to wait 2 years for my husband to come home.
Right. So what are you saying? You're going to get a Freddie doll, like a life-size Freddie doll?
Yeah, I'll get a life-size Freddie doll to sleep next to me because then it will be a comfort for me. I'm not on my own, but my husband won't feel threatened because he didn't like the ladies. It's a win-win.
With those great big teeth,
yeah,
sticking a cable needle in between,
or my bowl, like it'd be like a yarn bowl.
Yeah, hold this.
Yeah. I think it's a win-win for everyone, to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good approach.
I need the life-size Freddie.
Oh,
in fact, I think Michelle needs to knit me one. Michelle's got the book Knit Your Own Husband or Knit Your Own Boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, I noticed that she hasn't really made much of an effort with that.
No, bit
I
disappointed.
like the beardy one. I thought it was
I
quite.
thought the beardy one was lovely. Michelle, pull your finger out, get the beardy guy. Was he wearing a shell? Who was wearing the shell suit?
I don't know. I used to have a shell suit. I loved
I
it.
used to have one. Pink and purple, and I don't even like pink and purple.
Mine was pink and purple. It was so comfy. I think I loved it so much because the people at the Royal Windermere Boat Club completely hated it.
You couldn't sneak up on anyone wearing one though, could you? Because they could hear you coming from a mile away.
I know all that from the fabric slooshing together from every bit of you that moved.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
You
the
could
other
be a
thing,
ninja in the shell suit.
the other thing that I had, now I got together with my husband in 94 and we got married and I went to live in Saudi in 99. So somewhere between 94 and 99, I bought an all-in-one black lycra like aerobics outfit, a bit like do you remember Mr. Motivator?
Oh God, yeah.
But a girl one, because obviously it had to cover certain bits that his one didn't. But I had one of those.
Well, yeah, and you don't necessarily need a padded box at the front.
Well, no, I didn't need that. Yeah, so and I used to do all my aerobics exercise videos at home wearing that, jumping around the front room.
Oh.
Can you see it? Oh, I had one of those. Oh, what was it? Was all the rage at the time. It was. Do you know when you're doing like martial arts, like boxer size, but not boxer size? I want to say taekwondo, but it's not that.
Is it like Taibo or something?
Taibo, that was it. I did Taibo. I had loads of Taibo videos. Oh, yeah.
Do you know my all-time favourite workout is still Shaun T and the Hip Hop Abs DVD.
Oh, Shaun T.
It is so much fun. I mean, he's gayer than a maypole, bless him.
Does he?
And
Does
so
he?
camp in it, whilst trying not to be. He tries to be very masculine and not really let you know.
Oh yeah, because it's still. I mean, even for the fact that it was accepted, it still wasn't really accepted.
No, it wasn't. It absolutely wasn't in those days. And it made
Yeah.
me laugh because there was this article on the internet a few years ago about, stars you never knew were gay. And he's like number 3, and I'm thinking, well, how didn't you know?
He put there's that gif of him, isn't there, where he's like pulling that funny face and he goes like that, and he's like,
I know.
you know what I mean, the gif.
I do, yeah. And but I absolutely love that workout because he is such great fun and high energy, and he really knows his stuff. And by the end of it, I am just a sweaty mess. But you feel like you've had a really good dance at a club.
Oh yeah.
And it was funny because I went to a wedding a few years ago, and obviously a number of the women have been doing hip hop abs in prep for being boogie ready.
Yeah.
And one of the songs that's on the DVD came on, and they all started doing all this, and I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to do a hip hop abs, and we all did the routine from the DVD, all looking at one another, and everyone else was like, how do they know this dance? I've never done that in the clubs, and we're going,
Figure it out.
Just really, really funny.
I've done a search in the gifts for Shaun T and I got that.
Oh, okay. That's not quite what we were expecting.
Shaun T. Oh yeah. That's funny. How are you getting on with that? I think,
just 28 rows, and that looks about 4 inches. I think that's so. I don't know. I might have to block this because it needs to be a bigger gauge than that, and I'm using a 5mm needle.
Oh right, yeah.
And it needs to be about 18 by 24, really.
How disappointing that it's not.
That's interesting. It's completely off. I cast on 25 stitches and it's about 21.
So what are you going to do?
Oh, I would need to go to a 5.5 mil needle, I think, and so I'll have to have a play around with the fabric.
You like the
I quite
fabric?
like that fabric, and I don't necessarily want it to be too holey.
So what would you do? Go up a needle, go up a size instead of
Uh,
a size
Go
bigger.
for size in what I knit, or go up to a 5.5 mil needle and see how it works.
And if you don't like,
She does hers at quite a loose gauge.
yeah.
And Alicia always uses bigger needles than
Helen's saying, is
most
it
people
an
anyway.
Aaron?
No, it's a DK, but it's at an Aaron gauge. And I've done a swap, excuse me, burping away, using some Aaron yarn, and that's absolutely spot on with 5 mil needles. And I quite like the fabric with that. But I was really set on this colour once I'd seen it, and especially I'd seen it in real life.
The advantage of going up the 5.5 is going to be a bit quicker to knit as well.
Yeah, and then I'll probably have to go up to 6 mil for the band, or pick up more stitches. I might have to recalculate that and get extra yarn, but I'll work it out. But yeah, it's a DK, and she uses a DK in her sample. Alicia uses, so it is meant to be a DK yarn knitted at an Aaron gauge for a loose, sort of light, lofty cardigan. Most of places are like that, though, aren't they? A lot of them are. I mean, some of them she does the standard sort of 20 to 22 stitches by 28 rows on 4 mil needles or whatever. But I know when she first started, when she was doing Aaron stuff, she would get gauge on a 6.5 mil needle, and I was having to go down to a 5 mil to get the same gauge. Right. So she must be quite a relaxed knitter.
If she's doing it in the dark.
Well, with her eyes shut.
She's probably falling asleep while she's doing it. Oh, could you imagine? You wake up and you've made a jumper in your sleep. How fab would that be?
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Let's invent. You know, like you can invent those the vacuums that do the floors for you, and the lawnmower. We need one that's going to make our jumpers in our sleep.
Well, certainly the sleeves. Don't mind doing the bottom.
Oh yeah, sleeves. You know, Vera, is she going to have full length sleeves, or are you going for an elbow length or
full length?
You're going to do full length? Wow. I thought you might go for a shorter one. Excellent.
No, full length. Probably an inch or so shorter than the pattern says, just because
I think they're quite nice as well.
I'm pretty sure that's no bad thing, is it? Because sometimes you want to be able to pull them down over your hands if you're cold.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll see. I'll try on as I go, and then get what I think would be the perfect length. I don't know if you saw Alicia had posted earlier about a sleeve on one of the things she's making. That she said she was re-knitting. Was it the campsite pullover?
All right.
Her design. She was re-knitting it with a new yarn.
Okay.
For a new sample, and she was in progress. She showed us that. But she'd done a post with a picture of the sleeve, and she got so far and then decided, no, I want longer sleeves. But she'd blocked it.
All right.
Okay. And then started knitting the rest of the sleeve, and she wanted to illustrate the difference between the two. And the top of the sleeve is smooth and even, and you kind of want to get it. And then the rest of it is just like a gigantic porcupine lumpy thing. Armadillo, even.
Armadillo.
Lumpy mess. And it really illustrated the power of blocking on just a simple shape. So
yeah.
Underestimate that.
It's funny, isn't it?
There's the difference that it makes. It's like magic. Oh, and Helen's saying DK varies so much, and some is very much like worsted. It is. And it's quite a wide range, and sometimes you just never know. And it didn't help that the classifications got changed a few years ago. So when I was first stocking Lion Brand, like Vanna's Choice and Woolies were all classed as worsted, but now, and they're quite thick. And I gauge with them, but now Ravelry reclassified them a few years ago as Aaron.
All right.
So they're now Aran yarns.
I couldn't find that Highland Heathers on Ravelry.
It's probably not been entered on yet.
No.
You can always add it.
My stash. I thought I'd be a good girl and start trying to put everything in my stash when I get it. What?
I tried to put Bambino prints on, but they didn't have Bambino prints, so I just found the Bambino yarn and just decided that actually I'll add the prints in with plain, and that's what everyone else had done.
Right.
I wish they couldn't be bothered with the faff.
No, it's just not worth the faff sometimes, is it? You've got better things to do.
It.
I need to go through mine because all my stash on Ravelry, I'm really bad at remembering to put on when I've used it for a project.
Right.
So it's saying that I've got stuff that I haven't got because I've used it up. Right. So I need to get better at doing that. I've put the Stylecraft on that I'm going to use for my mum's jumper, the Blissemer.
That is a lovely.
I've put the Highland Heathers on. I need to put the drops on that I've just bought as well, and that should be most of my new stuff. And then I just need to go through. Oh, I haven't put the Rowan Pure Life. I haven't put that in my stash either.
Well, you could add that and just add, if I've already made something with it, instead of photographing the yarn, I just take a picture of the sweater and put that in, because that tells me exactly what it is. And it's not for anyone else's benefit, it's for mine.
Yeah, because it's not for sale. I'm not selling any of my stash.
No.
So, yeah.
I'm being cuddled by Labradors. I've got them wrapped around my feet.
That's nice. Mine just comes in, heavy breathes for a second, then goes away, and then, yeah, he's not being too friendly tonight.
I need to get back into my workouts next week, because last week I just had no energy for them and I was really struggling.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about.
I think that it's been really weird weather-wise.
Well, the doctor at the hospital, at the breast clinic, said it could just be post-COVID fatigue, and he said, don't worry about it. If it's harder some weeks than others, then work harder when you can and don't worry about it when you can't. He said, just move.
Because they are saying, aren't they, that the recovery from it isn't an upward cut, it's up, down.
Yeah, it's not a linear thing. It's much like weight loss. If I don't get a loss this week, it's all down to weighing my shoes on. It'll be those heavy shoes.
I will blame the shoes.
And then it's funny when we go back to group, because we've all been weighing sort of in the nuddy at home.
Yeah.
But we won't be able to do that.
You won't, and also different scales as well will make a difference.
Yeah, somebody was asking, could they calibrate them to match their home scales so that they didn't have a weigh?
I've taken them with me.
Well, to be honest, the scales at group always weigh me lighter than mine do at home. So if I'm giving the measurements and the weight that I've got now, I'm fine with that, because when I get back to group, it'll be less.
Cool.
But I definitely signed up for the 8:30 in the morning, which was the earliest I could get, because I won't have breakfast before I go. I won't have a drink. I'll take one with me. And as soon as I've weighed, I'll be lugging a pint of tea down my neck.
Make sure you go quickly.
Yeah, I'll have to have an industrial horse pee before I leave the house, because we can't have a wait at the hall. Not allowed to use the toilets. Not allowed to use the kitchen, because usually you can make yourself a brew and sort of socialise a bit while other people are weighing, but we can't do that now. So.
Will she still have her bars and things for sale?
Sorry?
Will she still have her bars and things for sale?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a one-way system through, so you have to get them on your way in. You can't change your mind. And
what about cash? Because a lot of people aren't taking cash at the moment.
She said you have to bring the right amount of cash.
Okay.
Or pay by card or pay by backs transfer, which is what we've been doing. I've just been sending her a backs once a month in advance.
Right.
So I'll probably just carry on doing that, and then I don't have to worry about it, because it's just done.
And you could do your bars that way if you wanted to.
Well, and I had to go to the cash point today to get cash out for the hairdresser. And I've had the same £15 in change in my purse since March.
I was like that. And did you get a new £20 notes? First time I saw the new ones.
I did, but then I gave it more or less straight to the hairdresser without really looking at it. And then I accidentally bought yarn with some of the tenner. So that went.
You didn't buy the yarn, I told you. It's the pesky yarn. It jumps into your bag. You don't even know it's there. And you get home and there it is.
Is that like Ravelry's pattern auto cart?
That is the one. The one that is probably going to be auto carting at any point within the next 12 hours, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to end up with a cardigan that I haven't bought.
Well, you know.
And it's not even November yet.
Yeah, it's a nice cardigan. I think I like that it's open. That you can't close it physically because it's not wide enough to close.
And for that, yeah.
The fronts are chopped. And I think that's quite nice because there's nothing worse than when the fronts are meant to close and they don't. And they quite obviously don't.
Yeah.
But that style, it's not meant to, and it's really obvious, and it's just very flattering on a wide range of figures. And if you really wanted extra coverage, you could just go nuts with the band and do a really long band and fold it back at the neck and have it go all the way across the body, and
you could do that.
Fill the gap that way. You could cheat that way.
Because I'm thinking that it'd look very nice in the grey colour with jeans. Because I like grey with a white vest.
Yeah.
That is one of my favourite things to wear. Blue jeans, white vest and a grey top. Oh look, I'm wearing a grey top and I've got a white vest on. Strange that. Oh, nothing is not predictable, me, I tell you.
Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a signature style. That's what we call it.
Oh dear, yeah.
Oh, is the other Helen in the house?
Oh, Helen! Whoop whoop!
Oh, Helen Gibson, I lost 3 skeins of my blanket yarn, found 2 in the downstairs chest, but 1 is still missing. Oh, you're going to have to find that. That's no good.
Oh, no.
How can it be MIA? Where's it gone?
She's not accidentally used it for something.
No.
That would be a disaster. Especially, didn't she say she'd had it for like 3 years or something?
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
I need to stop buying and start using. Can we get an extra couple of hours in the day?
Possibly.
Just for knitting. Cutie. I don't have a yarn problem. I have a lack of knitting time.
Yeah.
Or the alternative is, can somebody stop the things in my garden from growing?
Oh, I don't know what that one's about.
That one looked a bit interesting. What are they doing there?
I don't know.
Like a human cat.
I like that one.
That one's cute.
That's kind of sweet, isn't it?
I think he was trying to be a human cat.
Something like that.
We'll have to do. I tell you what we need to do, Lorraine. We need a knitting retreat at your house. I've just decided. I'm volunteering you to have it.
You're volunteering me to have the knitting retreat in the smallest house.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. We're going to share the dog bed.
We all have to sleep on the floor in the front room.
Yeah, good luck with that. That will be with Labradors.
Yeah, they'll just keep you warm, aren't they?
But they won't mind. They won't mind.
They will share. They're happy.
Oh, Helen says it looks like the two she found have been used to maybe swatch but frogged again. Oh, it'll be fine. And the other Helen's been making dinner. What was for dinner, Helen? Do tell us, because we're starving.
You've been sitting there chopping down a dessert.
Yeah. And what's your point?
That you didn't share.
It was only 2 thins for the whole jug, and I've only had half of it.
I've just
So
ordered
I
for my
could have more if I wanted.
well, I've ordered the kids some vanilla ice cream because
Oh,
Callum
okay.
said that he will try. I'm going to make a bread and butter pudding that I can eat with gluten-free bread and non-dairy stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he said that he'll try it, but only if he gets vanilla ice cream to go with it.
Well, that's fair enough. That's a
So
good deal, I think.
yeah. And the fruit, the raisins and stuff will be replaced with vegan chocolate chips.
Oh, okay.
So
Do they have like pointy ears and are they green?
no,
Oh, that's Vulcan, isn't it?
that's Vulcan, not vegan.
Yeah. Sorry, I get the two mixed up all the time.
Easy done, easy done.
Fish for dinner, most unusual, even it's not Friday.
Oh, I like fish and chips.
I'm having salmon tomorrow, not because it's Friday, but because someone on the Slimming World group posted a picture of tandoori salmon with mango salsa. And the mango salsa actually looked so good that I might have had to buy a mango today to make it. I've got some mango in the freezer, but I wasn't sure how well that would work for the salsa.
I am very weird with mangoes. I like mango flavored things. Don't like
Right.
mango. Don't like the texture of it.
Oh, I love mango. It's got almost a pepperiness to it.
When
It's
I
really
lived
good for your gut
in
flora, actually. It's very good for your gut
it is.
flora. And I'll tell you privately off air about what else it's also good for. And Michelle's saying Vulcans are not green. Well, their blood is.
Is it?
Yeah. Because
Cool.
McCoy's always calling him a green-blooded whatnot.
I can do it that hand. But
What,
this
they'll
one,
live long and prosper.
yeah, but my right hand, these two fingers will not go together. Look,
I can do that.
look at that. Look, what's that about?
Obviously just not practicing. It's my standard greeting now that I can't shake hands or hug anybody.
I was watching the news, right? And Bojo was greeting some people the other day. I don't know how long ago this was, but it's obviously very recently. And he was doing the elbow thing with all these people. I think they were a football team or cyclists or some kind of sport. And he's going around and they were stood sort of like in a semicircle. And he started with the first one elbow, second one elbow, worked his way around doing the elbow with them all. And he was getting very close to the other, like when he went to the first person, he kept his distance from them, but when he went to the second person, he was very close to the first person. And I'm thinking, you're mental.
He hasn't got this 2 meter thing at all, has he? Helen's saying that she likes mango, and Helen's saying frozen mango is fab. She gets it in chunks from Tesco. I got mine from Aldi, and I've been having that with raspberries with my porridge in the morning, and I love it. Rita says the salmon recipe sounds great. I will paste it in the after party group sometime.
In the recipe thread.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like the frozen fruit stuff. I like the really big dark cherries that you get frozen.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
there is. But mango is really good for you. It's extremely good for your feminine health.
Didn't you used to have it in Umbongo? Do you remember that fruit? Umbongo.
They get it from the jungle or something.
Yeah, they drink it in the jungle. That's the one.
Yeah, that's it.
That had mango in, didn't it? Was it mango and pineapple or something?
I don't know. My fix at the moment is Aldi's Tropical Burst, and it's a very pineapple-y fizzy drink. And I only allow myself one can every couple of days because otherwise they'd just all be gone. I really love it. And a friend suggested there's a Slimming World recipe Diet Cola chicken.
Oh.
You simmer down the Diet Cola to make a sticky sauce for the chicken in the
barbecue,
which is really lovely. And somebody said they'd done that with this Tropical Burst and that the pineapple flavour had worked really well. So I'm dead tempted to try that.
Pineapple and chicken, definitely. Is it like
just wrong? Just wrong, he said.
Oh no. Is it a full sugar one, or is it one that's got sweeteners
I
in?
get the 0 calorie, sugar free stuff.
You do or you don't?
Don't drink. I only ever get sugar free
Right.
drinks. I don't have anything with anything sugary like that in the house.
Yeah, I don't have the full sugar stuff, but I think one of the things that does upset my stomach is the sweeteners. What are you laughing at?
Helen and Michelle are both saying umbongo, umbongo. You drink it in the Congo.
In the Congo.
Something like that. And she's saying 50% sugar. What's
Oh,
50% sugar? Is that mango that we're talking about? Is that 50% sugar? It probably is, but it's very good for your feminine health.
Oh. Should I put the advert on? I found the advert.
Can you share it? Are you able to do it?
I'll try. Let's see if it'll work.
You might have to do.
Let's see. Let's see if it'll work.
I think I need to stop knitting this swatch now, otherwise I'm going to have a strip.
You are, yeah.
The wrong kind of strip.
Is that working?
Went down deep in the middle of the Congo. He put up in every pot of rubber and a mango. He stuck it with the others and he danced a dainty tango. The rhino said, I know, we'll call it umbongo. I can make the fashion paper. Mama said the mandarin, the parrot painted packets of the book could put a lion in. So when it comes to son of fun, good is in the jungle.
Did you see that?
Yeah, we did. And Helen's saying it's the umbongo that's 50% sugar. Oh my God.
We used to drink that, didn't we? Like it was
by the pint.
oh bungo to drink it in the Congo.
Blimey.
Yeah, no wonder we were all a bit weird. What was the other one? Capri Sun was full of sugar when we were
and
growing up. Kiora was full of sugar.
Kiora.
And what was the American one that was the orange juice? Sunny D?
Sunny Delight.
Sunny D, yeah. Oh my God, that was pure. It was concentrated orange with added sugar in.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because it used to be called Sunny Delight and then they rebranded it Sunny D, didn't they? But didn't take any of the sugar out, I don't think.
Oh, well. Sun-kissed, as Michelle said.
Oh. We get sun-kissed popcorn. Isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Popcorn. We get that in the microwave because that's actually quite good for you. If you just have normal salted popcorn, it's not that bad. Not a lot in it.
No, probably not.
Callum snacks on that. We used to do that when I was working at the school in Saudi. Whoever was in first would put a bag of popcorn in the microwave and then just put it in a bowl on the table, and all the teachers would come in at break time and eat the popcorn because it's quite a healthy snack comparatively. There was one guy there who always had a mango because they were cheap in Saudi.
I don't know if I've got issues with popcorn or not. I get a cough after I've eaten it, and I don't know if it's because the last time I had it, it was the popcorn bars from Aldi. They're like a breakfasty high fibre bar. And they've got, I don't know if it's the nuts or if it's the popcorn or something else in the bar, but I've really struggled with popcorn since then. It's just
try getting sort of like the plain salt one that you just put in the microwave and see if you react to that.
Yeah, if I get some for Jake and it's got something I can add to it and I can just cook it plain and then put whatever he wants on it, then I'll do that. I'll try it. Yeah, I don't want to make it just for me.
Well, we've got the popcorn maker where you just put like a scoop of the kernels in it and it, like, you know.
Yeah, we have a big pan with a lid on.
That works. Just
that's the popcorn maker.
It's fine.
Big pan.
Salt. Do you not like salt? I love salty popcorn.
No. No, I crave sweet stuff for things like that.
Can you answer me a question? Can you solve an argument? You're very good at solving arguments from this house.
Am I?
Yeah. You solved the blue-green argument before. Right, okay. I made myself French toast the other day. I absolutely was craving French toast. And I put cinnamon in the eggs.
Yeah.
And when it was ready, I sprinkled my French toast with brown sugar.
Yeah.
My husband said, that's disgusting. It's not supposed to be sweet.
Of course it is. That's why it's cinnamon in it.
Yeah. I said, you're confusing eggy bread with French toast. Eggy bread is savoury, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you would have that with maybe bacon or something.
Yeah.
But French toast is supposed to have sugar on it.
To me, is sweet.
Yeah. No, my husband says I'm disgusting because I put sugar on my French toast.
Well, I would mix the sugar in with the egg and stuff when I was doing it.
Sprinkled it on the top.
Mike would put sugar on top of it as well and then put it under the grill to caramelise the sugar.
Tasty.
Oh, we're rewatching Harry Potter films, Helen says. She's off again. Well, lovely to see you, and do show us the blanket if you feel like showing progress, because we're all excited.
We're off as well anyway, aren't we?
Oh, Michelle's saying less alcohol for me. Does that mean we've got problems with the jumper of doom?
Either that or she's just got Sunkissed and Sunny Delight mixed up and she thinks it's
okay. Well, that's fine. That's not it.
Oh, right. What do you want? Have you seen him?
What?
My dog. Can you hear him?
I can hear him. What's up with him?
Well, I think he must have heard me say I think that we were going, because he jumped down off his bed and came and gave me some heavy breathing. Well,
I don't know what to say to that.
There is no reply to that, is there?
Lucky girl tonight.
I'm going to have a warm lad in my bed.
I don't know. What a week. I got me boobs felt and it looks like you're in for it. You know, it's all good.
It's all going on now.
So has anybody got anything exciting planned for the weekend? I thought I might stay home, watch movies and knit.
That sounds quite nice, actually. I might have a fence being taken down. Exciting.
Yeah, you're having boundary issues.
I'm having boundary issues. Yeah, I always have boundary issues. It's a constant pain of my life.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
I almost got to see my brother and sister-in-law and their new grandchild, little Jessie Reef, that we've spoken about when I was knitting for him months ago, because they were visiting my parents on Wednesday, and Mum was, oh, will you come through? Will you come through? And I was just kind of busy with other stuff that I didn't want to put down, and then part of me doesn't want to go because they're all going to want to hug, and no. It's just not the thing. But part of me was desperate to go because Joanne, my brother's wife, is mad on musicals, and I want to know whether she's watched Hamilton or not. And I'll know within seconds because she'll be singing it. She'll be singing everything.
Because she's not throwing away her shot.
Yeah, and then my brother will be singing along because he'll have been forced to watch it all with her.
And he'll have
and he still knows all the words to Seven Brides for Seven Brothers because of Joanne.
I love it. And if she hasn't watched it, she needs a slap on the wrists.
Well, yeah, I think it'd be very remiss of them if she hasn't watched it.
It's been out nearly a month.
Yeah, and is it worth watching the new version of Aladdin with Will Smith?
I loved it. I went to the cinema to see it and I absolutely loved it. But then I really loved the new live version of Beauty and the Beast as well.
Okay.
I loved The Lion King. I loved Aladdin. All three of them were brilliant.
Okay. Mum and Dad didn't like Jungle Book because of the enormous harangue.
I haven't watched the real life Jungle Book yet, actually. I should give it a try, shouldn't I?
I found that really off-putting and it spoiled it a bit for me. It just and Bill Murray in it. I'm sorry, no, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. I love Bill Murray. Don't get me wrong, but
he's good at what he does, not what he shouldn't be doing. Yeah,
and that was just wrong. On the plus side, I've really enjoyed The Old Guard, and Netflix have announced that not only is there going to be a second movie, but it's going to be a trilogy. So I'm really excited about that. Having read one of the original comics years ago and thought, this is cool.
Yeah, it's in my queue. I'm still rewatching Outlander at the moment.
Oh, right, a bit of Jamie and what's it?
Jamie.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten
Rather a lot of Jamie.
You
Very
don't quite
little left to the imagination in the early series, is there?
You see a little bit more of Frank than you do Jamie, though. Although actually it's Jack, isn't it? I'd forgotten how violent and how much sex was in the first series. It was really violent.
Yeah.
And you know, when he's trying to with Jenny, I've never ever seen a man do that on a normal TV program before.
No. Yeah, I having watched have you ever watched Wallander or Valander?
I haven't, no.
Kenneth Branagh series, yeah, there's a Kenneth Branagh, but obviously there's the original Scandi versions, and there's several versions, and there's one actor in one series. I can't think of his name. I'll put it in the comments later when I've figured out who it is. It's like Hester or something like that he's called. But he is brilliant as Valander, and I really loved it, and I thoroughly enjoyed those series. And I watched the Kenneth Branagh one, but he's a much more pathetic character in the Kenneth Branagh one. He's a bit whiny for me. But there's another Scandi version with an actor, I think he's called like Ralph Skarsgård or something like that. And he's a bit of a fat, bloaty, red-faced fella. And I have to say that for me, I much prefer the air of mystique about my sex scenes. I do not need to see a fat, bloaty fella playing hide the sausage with a young girl. I just don't.
No.
And the fact that he looks like he's about to die halfway through just puts me off even more. And I honestly feel that those particular scenes are burned on the back of my retinas, and I will never be able to unsee them.
Yeah.
So I'm much more into the, you know, a bit of thrusting underneath the blanket is enough for me to know. I know how it all works. I don't need to see it in close detail.
Sport, is it? Let's be honest. Well, I don't think it is. Obviously, some people think
not for me. Not for me.
The whole industry going on like that, but
yeah, absolutely. And you know, whatever floats your boat, if that's for you, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I don't really need to see in close-up detail what people were doing, and I think it's actually more interesting to me the less I see, because my mind can go in different directions.
Although I am a little bit naughty and I do like to see a little bit of a flash of what's under the kilt, but not like, you know, not in a Rudy way, but just, oh, he's coming out of the water and you just get a tiny little glimpse sort of thing, or he turns and you just tiny little glimpse. That's what I like. None of this full frontal standing there giving it the helicopter.
Yeah,
that's no good.
I'm going to sound awful, and this isn't a pop at men at all, but I'm sorry. In terms of design awards, God will not be winning awards for genitals that look like the last turkey in the shop.
No, definitely not.
I'm sorry, it's not the prettiest thing to see, and I don't need to see any of that on telly. I just don't.
You don't need to see it, but what I mean is not like I've just seen his thing. I don't want to know that. More of a, did I just see that? That's what I like.
I much prefer something like. Have you watched Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron and James McAvoy?
A long time ago, when it first came out. I can't.
Well, there's a couple of scenes in that. He's in bed with two women, and he gets out of bed and pulls the duvet around him, and you get a flash of sort of the lower part of his abs.
See, that is the
top part of the thigh, and that to me is much more attractive.
Yeah,
full on meat too veg and a furry hedgehog.
No full on. But literally, when you're watching it, I think it was James McAvoy in a movie once, and you go, did I just see that? Did I? Or I like that. That's what I like. When
I've never really fancied Sting since I saw him in, I can't remember even what drama it was now. It was one of these post-apocalyptic things where they're all survivors after a nuclear war or something. It was in the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah.
And they're all survivors. And he's at a stream, stark naked, meat and two veg swinging in the wind. And this young girl is sort of trying to find someone else that's alive and get some help. And he attempts to rape her.
Oh.
And obviously that's the character in the story. That's how it's written. It's not a reflection on Sting. But having seen all of that, I just thought, oh, yeah, not really that bothered anymore.
No.
It's a teenager. Woof. You know, it's funny how your perception changes, isn't it? And you just
Yeah.
No, I think we see too much.
Yeah, but it's just annoying that it's usually the women. You always see the women and you never see the men. You never see them. And I just quite like the fact that you're getting to see a little bit more. Not because I want to see it, but just for equality's sake.
I can't remember if it was Eddie Redmayne or Benedict Cumberbatch or somebody like that who said that they try and do more nude scenes than their female co-stars because they feel that they need to redress the balance.
Oh, that's good. Now, a man from behind, could look at that all day long.
Yeah.
Peach. I like a peach.
Yeah, somebody you could bounce a 50p off.
Yeah. Jamie looks good from behind.
Well, no.
I think we need to shout armadillo right now.
Yeah, armadillo. And she's not had any alcohol at all. She's not had any. And I've finished my mug of tea.
I've also not had something else for a very long time. So now is definitely armadillo time.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think everyone can guess what that is. Is it milk? Is it milk?
Yeah, I haven't had milk for about a year.
Ice cream and yogurt.
I've had vegan ice cream.
I'm sorry, but that's not ice cream. That's iced something else. You know, it's like these broccoli steaks and cauliflower steaks. They're still just cauliflower and broccoli.
No, sorry, no. But the Magnum ice creams, they're half the size, they're twice the price. But if you ate it with your eyes closed, you wouldn't tell the difference, I'm telling you.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. Right, my dear, I think I'm going to love you and leave you.
Yeah,
it is time coming up to my bedtime.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. Lovely to see you all. Hope we haven't bored you all to death this evening with our waffling.
Talking about bottoms.
And we'll see you on Sunday. I don't know what we've got planned, but we'll think of something. Right.
Yeah.
Click and